Using regulation, you can actually change your way of working. You can create a new base of processes, of governance that helps you to improve your business itself.
Today, I have the pleasure to welcome in the studio Luc Maquil, who is the founder of Maqit. Welcome.
Thank you, Jérôme, for having me here.
It's a pleasure. So can you maybe start presenting Maqit in a few words?
At Maqit, we make regulation easy for everyone, and that's what we are standing for. Maqit was created back in 2015 as of the initiative of the Battle government on the digital strategy. Actually, at that time, we attracted a number of clients or companies to Luxembourg, fintech companies, to establish themselves with innovative ideas. For example, in the domain of cryptocurrencies. And Maqit played a big role in that, assisting those companies to comply with the CSSF requirements to establish their business in Luxembourg, but also assisting them to remain compliant afterwards. No? The second big pillar of Maqit is with the arrival of Thierry André, who created a practice on AML. And then progressively we evolved from a pure advisory business into a recurrent managed services business. And now we are putting in place technology. So basically we are using technology again to make innovation in regulation, so to make regulation easy for everyone. This is AI, for example, cloud, so those topics, and blockchain, so those topics are of big interest and are at the core of our platform.
Okay, so if I understand well, there's two main things. First is becoming compliant. So when you are coming to Luxembourg, asking for a new license at CSSF, complying with all the obligations, and then remaining compliant because there's always new additions to the regulation. And when you come to AML, so anti-money laundering, of course you need to monitor all the incoming flows, all the new clients, so it's a non-stop process.
Yes, and I would even say that after the company after we're helping them to remain compliant, we also assist them in innovating on top of the compliance, so using regulation to innovate. So innovation creates a level playing field of innovation. So using regulation, you can actually change your way of working. You can create a new base of processes, of governance, that helps you to improve your business itself. And that's also what we are helping companies with. So is to see in regulation the catalyst of change.
Yeah, trying to use regulation as a competitive advantage.
That's, yes, exactly. So, and I think Luxembourg is doing very great in that area.
Okay. Now, if we talk about Europe, we know we read the news, we see the competition with China, with the US. So as long as we look inside the bubble of Europe, we know that we feel good about our very, very strong regulation. The issue is that anytime there's one new regulation, international groups get 27 regulations because it is transposed in every country of the EU. Don't you think there's a risk if we don't quickly upgrade and simplify that Europe will become less competitive than other parts of the world?
Yes, I think you are putting the point right, and that's exactly the risk of regulation. So I think from the basis, a regulatory framework makes sense. So the problem is not with the framework itself. The problem is with the implementation of the framework, is the speed of adoption, which differs from country to country, but it's also on a much lower level, the speed of adoption in the companies themselves, and moreover, the means the companies are getting to adopt regulation.
Yeah, if you take MiCA, for example, Luxembourg is one of the first who had transposed and implemented it, but if I'm a player, I can find other countries in Europe where it's not enforced yet.
Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, for example, in Poland, the MiCA is not yet been approved by the president, although it went to the parliament. So there are different speed of adoption, and that confuses the message outside of Europe, because the countries, the companies from those countries in Asia, they don't know where to go, basically. But as said, I think Luxembourg was usually playing very well the game, as we are early adopters of such regulation, and we have the talent available, the competencies, the language. So I'm quite confident we are the right place for these companies to choose.
Yeah, if we look at the whole fund industry, which is to the around 6 trillion assets under management, it all started in the 1980s with a UCI regulation that Luxembourg was the first to transpose. So it was very clearly a competitive advantage to be fast, and it was a niche strategy. 40 years later, we start realizing that not transposing fast can become a competitive advantage. So this is a tension between being very strong in regulation and being unified as Europe. So I think you have a bright future for sure in helping people become compliant, remain compliant, and help them deal with the constantly moving requests of regulation. So I wish you a lot of growth going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.